Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So I wanted to hop on here and give you guys the beauty tip for this week. And actually what I decided to do was a product review of something that I had picked up at Target that is something that I have done for probably about 5 years now, and I think it's really awesome. So I wanted to share it with you. I started doing this in France actually because France is a country that is very, they're really into waxing, I guess. They're really into waxing, and so there's just a ton of products around it, and estheticians on almost every street corner in bigger cities. It's just part of the culture. So I started waxing. I had waxed my bikini before, but I started actually waxing my legs as well. And in the drugstores, they have lots of different products, hot waxing, cold waxing, sugar waxing, all of those things. So I actually really got into cold waxing, the wax strips, and I have been waxing my legs. I don't really shave my legs ever unless it's some like I'm going swimming and that's the only option. Other than that, I always wax my legs, and I love it. I think it is seriously one of the things, one of my beauty routines that I changed in my life. I used to always shave, and the reasons I love it is I find that I have a ton less like darker hairs on my legs, and of course as you wax, the more you wax, the finer your hairs get and softer they get. So in between waxes, you're not going to have like that stubbly hard stuff, and nobody wants to climb into bed and feel those legs that are all like wax paper. So that's really nice. And what else? Well, it was really painful at the beginning. Well, I mean, I wasn't used to it. But actually, as you do it, the more you do it, the less painful it is. And I always went to the esthetician at first. I would always go, but of course that kind of got a little expensive after a while. So I would still go to the esthetician every month and a half or whatever, every month. But in between times, or sometimes I wouldn't go for a few months, I would use the cold strips. So when I came home, I've been looking around for different cold wax strips that I could try and see if I liked, because there was this one brand that I really had in France that I loved, and I couldn't find it anymore here. So I went to the store the other day and I found this brand. It's called Flamingo, and well, there was the Sally Hansen, I think it's called. That one I've gotten before, and it's good. It works just fine. But there was something about this box that was just very minimalist and kind of funky, and it was like $4 more than the other one, so I was like, ooh, I don't know. But then I looked and I saw that it's made in Spain, and I thought that's interesting because it's such a culture there to wax. So I was like, well, maybe I'll try this one. So I splurged and spent the $9.99 instead of the $6.99 and got this brand. And I'm not an affiliate or anything for this brand. I just found it, and this is the one I used. So when I opened it up, I really liked it. It's like the funnest color. This is the Ellie Bell color anyway, so of course it's one of my favorite colors. And then it had this fun little envelope in it, all nice and clean. And when I opened it up, it has, so it comes with, obviously, your cold wax strips. For those of you who know these and have used them, you know about the cold wax strip. But for those of you who don't, a cold wax strip just comes like that. And actually the key to cold waxing, I found, like when I first got it, I was like, oh, I need to really warm this up, because you think about wax, it needs to be hot to really stick to the hairs on your leg. But actually with cold waxing, I find that you don't really need to warm them up that much. I just give it a little bit, and then you pull them apart, because I feel like when it gets too hot, too warm, I don't know, it doesn't stick as well. It's a cold wax, so it's supposed to stay kind of room temperature. and you can't keep them for very long. If you keep them too long, they kind of get really hard and they're not good. You just need to throw them away. Then you just take them and you pull them apart like that. And then you take your one and you stick it on your leg, and then of course you rub it for a second and then pull it up. Another thing that I have found that's really helpful, and it was very frustrating at first because I would wax my leg from bottom to top, and I would always wax up, and there would be some parts of my leg that would still have hair on it, and I would literally go over it like 5 or 6 times with the wax, and it would not come up. And I have found through trial and error that you have to go against the grain. And you think your hair is all growing down, so you're going to have to go against the grain and it's going to go up. But actually, a lot of your hairs in different places grow sideways or crooked or whatever in a different direction. So you really have to get in some good light. Natural light is the best, and really look at the leg hairs, and you'll see it turns, and you'll see the direction that those hairs on that part of your leg are going. And then you stick it that way and you pull against the grain. And once I figured that trick out, not getting it too hot and going against the grain, cold wax strips are awesome for your legs. And I only wax up to my knees, and I'm telling you, I love them. So I tried this brand, and they have this, and then they have the post-wax cloth that you put on it. It's just got like a little bit of oil on it. So it says, after waxing, use this cloth to soothe and remove any excess stickiness. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think it's just kind of like a bit of an oil base. So the wax, what did I think of this brand's wax? I think it's really awesome. I actually didn't have to use, usually I use almost 20 strips to get up all of the hair on both legs, and these ones I found that I could go over one area once or maybe twice and I got all the hairs up. So kudos to them for that. And also I found that with these little wax cloths afterwards, it has a really nice oil on it. First of all, it smelled really nice, and it had enough oil on it to really get the excess wax off my legs. So I actually didn't have to spend a lot of time trying to pick all of that off, because that can sometimes be annoying. So anyways, I don't know, does anybody in the group wax? Are you guys waxers? Are you guys shavers? I would say I definitely have stopped shaving my legs. It's probably been at least 5 years, maybe more, that I have stopped shaving my legs. Yes, it's definitely a little more painful, but I think after you get used to it, it's super nice. It just is seriously one of my favorite beauty routines that I do, that I took home back to the US from France. So let me know in the comments if you guys have ever tried this brand before, if you guys wax, if you guys shave. You don't have to share that information if you don't want to, but I'm just curious to see if there are a lot of other people who have tried it and who love to do this as well. Okay, have a nice evening, ladies.